Sorry, I'm a little sick right now. I'm pathetic. And so are you. What's up, idiots? Good morning. My name is Brendan Thompson, and this is my super cringe introduction video on this super cringe site. So it's quite fitting. So, as cliche and tacky as this may be, I need to introduce myself a little bit before I can get into what the purpose of this video is. So, just getting that garbage started. My name is Brendan Thompson, as I said. I am 21 years old. I am a traditional animation major in college. I have worked in the animation and art industry since my sophomore year of high school, and I'm also really freaking dumb. I have severe ADHD and partial dyslexia, and contrary to the majority of the internet, I am not self-diagnosed. Those were actual conditions that I was born with that I was made aware of by an actual doctor. So, frick you, take that, you stupid idiot man. Booger boy. Stupid little frickhead. Little pee-pee baby. Little dum-dum. What are you, little piss baby? Stupid! Frick you! I think I'm trying too hard. Anyways, now that the introductions are done, time to get into what the point of this video is. And so, as you can probably guess from the title of this video, I want to make a cartoon. And I've had this desire, this dream, for years now. When I was 8 years old, I had a dream where I had superpowers. And it was really freaking cool. But then I woke up and the post-superpower depression began. So that freaking sucked. But the next night, I had a continuation of that dream, except now my best friends also had superpowers. And we went on adventures, fighting crime, stopping evil, and it was one of the funnest experiences of my life. Even though it didn't actually happen, even though it was completely fictional and all in my head while I was asleep, I still remember it very vividly, and I remember it as one of the funnest experiences of my life. And when I woke up from that dream the second night, I began to kind of, theorize about what would have happened if the dream had kept going. And so I started coming up with little stories, little snippets of adventures that me and my friends would have. And I kept these stories to myself. Who was I gonna share them with? I think I briefly told my friends about it, but like I said, I was 8 years old when this happened. So I remember borderline nothing from that time. Round two, frickhead. This is annoying. Now, as you can imagine, as an 8-year-old, any stories that I came up with at the time were really freaking bad. Like, some of the worst writing on the planet. They sucked. But I enjoyed it. But as time progressed and I began to grow older, I never dropped these stories. I kept them in my mind, and eventually I started wanting it to evolve, to change, to become something that I could actually share with people. And so, when I was in 8th grade, I took this concept and completely scrapped all of those wacky, goofy adventures that I had in my head with my friends when I was 8 years old, and started writing an actual story about a bunch of kids who go to a school for superheroes, and they use their powers to fight evil. And all those characters were based off of me and my friends. Now, similarly to when I was 8 years old, as you can imagine, the writing really freaking sucked. But eighth grade me didn't know that. I thought I was a genius. I thought I was gonna create the next Marvel universe. That's doo-doo. And not even 6 months after I started converting all these stories and ideas I had into a novel, I completely scrapped the idea and rewrote it again. This time in the form of a webcomic called. Now, this webcomic, it actually gained quite a few thousand followers. I think at its peak, it was getting 20,000 views a week, which was really impressive to me, and I thought I was making good progress. But I knew in the grand scheme of the internet, that tiny little corner that I had with 20,000 people, wasn't that much compared to everything else on the internet. Did I just say internet? Internet. Everything else on the internet. But here's the thing, as a teenager in high school who's busy with friends and work and school and everything else, like I said, I was working in the actual industry at this time. I didn't have much time to put towards this webcomic. It's not that I stopped posting, it's that I kind of stopped caring about the webcomic because I decided that that wasn't going to be the final form. The only reason I kept, writing the webcomic, even though I knew I was going to do a complete rewrite when I was done, is because I had already invested so much time into it. I needed to give it some kind of ending. But after that webcomic ended, I immediately went back into rewriting and deciding what the final form of this story was and how I wanted to publish it. I thought back to maybe I can go back to it being a novel. I'm older now. I actually, know writing techniques. I know friends that I can use as editors. I have connections and favors that I can use and exhaust. But the novel it didn't seem like it could capture the story, these epic visualizations I wanted to show. And so I started thinking, what about a comic? Well, no, the webcomic wasn't really successful the first time, and even though that's purely because it was a garbage webcomic, I knew that it wouldn't fully capture the energy and the stories that I wanted to show either. And finally, I decided on something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, which is animation, and specifically TV animation. For example, Sonic the Hedgehog was this character that I loved growing up, and even as a 21-year-old man, I still play those games. I still watch Sonic Prime when it dropped. I still go and see the Sonic movies. I just love that character, and he's very near and dear to my heart, and he inspired, the characters and even some of the plot points in this show that I'm writing. Another example is Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was the greatest TV show on the planet, and it still is, and if you think otherwise, you're stupid, and I will fight you, and I hate you. It literally changed everything about TV animation as we knew it. Suddenly, TV shows could be story-driven, rather than just goofy antics every week, like in SpongeBob, which, don't get me wrong, I love SpongeBob. Now, TV shows could have a story. It could have compelling, smooth, and epic battle scenes and animation. It could have fully orchestrated soundtracks. It literally invented the possibility of bringing cinematicness into animated shows. And it was awesome, and it's what inspired me to become an animation major, to go into this field and to spend my life working on it. Clone Wars, Zelda, Voltron. I could go on and on about these shows and video games and movies that inspired this career path of mine and inspired this entire show that I've spent well over 10 years of my life writing. But instead, I'll just cut back to the reason as to why I need your guys' help on this show. So after I decided that I wanted my story to be presented in the form of a TV show, I knew that I was going to need resources, I was going to need help. And part of that was I needed a following on social media. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Brendan, that sounds freaking stupid. What is wrong with you? And I ask myself 6 inches from the mirror every morning the exact same question. So, moving on, the way pitching a TV show to different networks works is you need to, first off, have a bomb presentation, a bomb pitch to show them what your show is, what your show's about, what this story is, and you also need to provide proof and reason as to why people will watch your show, why it would be successful. Now, in my 7 years of working in this industry, I've helped people with their pitches, I've seen people give their pitches, I've even been asked to help judge the pitches and decide whether or not ultimately it was good enough to be proceeded with. And whether the pitch was good or bad, one of the main factors as to whether or not it was given the green light was if it had a following on social media. Because if that creator has a following of social media who know they're making a show and are backing this show, suddenly you have a whole bunch of proof of thousands or hopefully millions of people who are interested in this. If you have that proof that people are going to be interested in the story you present, or have the proof that they're already interested even if it hasn't even been made yet, then you'll have such a higher chance of success when presenting it to executives and producers, because they'll look and they'll see, okay, people actually watch this. This does have a chance of being successful. This isn't just going to be us throwing money away. Let's give it a shot. An example of that is probably Vivzy Pop, who is the creator of Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. Now, I've watched the pilot episode of Has Been Hotel, and I've watched every single episode of Hell of a Boss, and they're really well done. I enjoy both of those shows. But the main reason she had so much success, apart from her amazing writing talents and animation talents and how well she was able to present her ideas for the first time and get such a positive impression on it, is because she was able to build hype. She was able to gain a following on social media beforehand. She was able to get people to know that her show was coming out and get excited even before any media had been released yet. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build hype. I'm trying to post on social media. I'm trying to gain a following so that by the time this episode comes out a year or so down the road, people will be there waiting to watch it. And then they'll recommend it to their friends, and those friends will recommend it to their friends. So by the time I pitch it to a network, they'll look at it and they'll be able to see that I already have a following, that it already has a fandom going, that it already has success. It's just a matter of keeping up the momentum of that success. And that's where you guys come in. I need the help of everyone on the internet, everyone who's made it this far in the video, everyone who's following me on Instagram, TikTok, all that. I need the help of literally anyone that is willing to help. I need you to like the video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, like my posts on there. I just need as much traction as I can for this to be successful, for this to gain that following. Because the only way I can gain that following is if I can get people interested. And I haven't put out much media yet surrounding the pilot episode, and that's literally all you guys have to do, is just push buttons. And don't push the buttons because I tell you to push the buttons because they're buttons and they're fun to push. It's not that deep. I've invested years of my life into coming up with this entire storyline full of deep lore and, epic animation and battles and all this stuff. I'm finally at a point where I'm able to start producing it, where I'm ready to start the production process. And so my promise is to you guys that if you do all you can, which is literally, as I said, just pressing buttons, I will do all I can. I will try to get this episode out in the highest quality as I can make it, and I will get it out as fast as I can while keeping it high quality. And if you're wondering, but how do we know you can actually produce things that are high quality, go check out my socials. I know how to draw. I know how to animate. Like I said, I've been in this industry for a while. I've worked with other people. I've worked for other people. I've worked on shows, for shows. I've been doing this. I've helped people present so many of their stories, and I just want to be able to present my own for once. So that's literally all I ask. I'm gonna try to upload at the very least weekly. And I'll put out videos, updating you on, what the story of this show is and how exactly you guys can help. So I think that's it. I don't know what else I have to even say, but if you made it this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know how, but it happened. So, thanks, buddy. And so, as I have to do, because this is YouTube, I'm gonna leave with the outro of saying, Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share this with anyone. And if you decide to leave a dislike on the video, cool. I don't think it even has an effect anymore. But yeah, so link to my socials in the description, and I need your help. So yeah. Oh, bruh. The title of the show is called Anomaly, and I will talk more about that in the next video. So, peace out.